Hey everyone, this is Ben. This video is the continuation of this video. Throughout this video, we're going to learn 3 ways to persist Pinia states. And then I'm going to give you a quick demo before it starts. You can see actually I'm adding this endpoint right here that returns an array of ports. And here I got the internet right here. And then you can see actually when I'm going to click right here, refresh, we are going to hit this endpoint and then we're going to display an array of ports. Now, what if I disconnect it right here? Yeah, you're going to see what we're going to get. I'm going to disconnect. And then if I refresh again, we are going to fetch this data inside the local storage. I'm going to refresh right here. And then you're going to see that actually we are going to get this data from the local storage. And this is what we're going to do today. We are going to learn how to persist Pinia state inside the local storage. Without further ado, let's get started. So let's see how we can persist Pinia state using LocalStorage. And I'm going to get into first within the app.vue file. Right here, I'm going to clear out everything in order to make this file clean. And I'm going to import our kernel store and pass here const. I'm going to create right here constant. And we're going to name it kernel store is equal to use. We're going to pass is equal to use kernel store. And we are going to extract the count reactive property. And in order to preserve reactivity, we are going to use total_ref function. And I'm going to pass here the kernel store. And I'm going to create in the div. I'm going to pass here an h1. I'm going to pass a button under the h1 tag. Pass here first h1. And then here I'm going to pass here the count. And I'm going to pass here the button. We are going to call the increment function inside the kernel store. And I'm passing increments, and then I'm gonna pass here kernel store that increments. Yeah, I'm gonna pass here increments, and like this, and then we're gonna pass here increments. Now we're gonna check inside the browser, and you can see that actually we got a black screen. I'm going to get into within the meta.js. We're going to comment the side effects inputs. Now let's see what we got right here. We got a white screen. Now I'm going to click on the button increments. You can see that actually when I'm clicking the button, we are incrementing the count. But if I refresh the page, we're going to reset the count reactive property to its initial value. And this is a problem. How can we persist this data? How can we address our Pinia store via the local storage? To do so, we are going to use right here, we're going to use the watch function. I'm going to import watch function from Vue. If you doesn't know what is the watch function, the watch function is simply a function provided by Vue that allows to track if we modify a reactive property. Now I'm going to do this, and I'm pass here watch, and we're going to pass here the count, and I'm going to pass here a callback, and the callback function takes a new val right here. Pass here new val, and then we are going to pass here local storage and pass here local storage. Yeah, I'm gonna do this. Yeah, we're going to pass here local storage that CRM, and then we're gonna pass here the counter, and we're gonna pass the new val inside the local storage. And I'm pass here a third parameter to the watch function and pass here deep and then we're gonna pass here the value of true. And then if we got a nested value, we are going to check if we don't make any changes inside of it. That's why I pass here deep true. Now here, I'm going to retrieve this data, the new counter inside the local storage. To do so, I'm going to create right here another constant, const persisted data is equal to local storage that, yeah, we're going to pass a getRM counter, and then we're going to convert it to JavaScript objects. And in here, I'm going to pass here persisted data. We're going to check if it's not null. If it's not null, we are going to pass here JSON.parse, and then we're going to convert it to JavaScript value, else we are going to return 0. Let's get back inside the browser, and then let's see what we're going to get right here. And here, I'm going to refresh the page again. And right now, I'm going to make sure I clear out everything we got within the local storage. I'm going to pass here local storage that's clear. And then we are going to clear out the local storage, and then I'm going to refresh. We're going to get the initial value of the count reactive property. Now let's increment. And then here you can see the actual value of the count reactive property is 7. I'm going to refresh the page, and then you can see that actually we don't get the initial value of the reactive property. the current file is 7. And you can see that every time we are going to refresh the web page, we are going to hydrate our Pinia store with the data stored within the local storage. And this is how we can use the local storage in order to persist Pinia states. Now let's move to the second step. Alright guys, now we're gonna learn the second alternative to persist Pinia states to local storage. For this second alternative, we're gonna use the persisted states plugin. It is a library, and we are going to click right here, get started, and then we're going to get into within the getting started menu. We are going to scroll down, and then in order to install it, we are going to copy this line right here, and then I've already installed it. Now I'm going to, and then in order to add it to the Pinia instance, you're gonna copy this. As is a plugin. In this video, we learn how to create a Pinia plugin, which says in order to add a Pinia plugin, we can use the Pinia instance, and then that's use, and then we are going to add a plugin to the Pinia instance. This is how we add it. We learn how to do that. Now, in order to add to this library, to the Pinia instance, we are going to do the same thing. You import it right here, and then you pass it to the Pinia instance. Pretty easy. Now let's see how we can persist the state inside the local storage using this library. Now I'm going to get into within the Canada.js, and in here I'm gonna comment all of this stuff right here, and I'm going to create right here a new reactive property count is equal to ref. I'm gonna pass it an initial value, and then we are going to add right here an object like this, and then I pass here persist and is equal to true. That's all. We just finished. And then I pass here local storage, that's clear. And then here I'm going to refresh the page. We got the initial value, and then I'm gonna click increment, and then I'm gonna refresh again. And you can see that actually I'm writing our Pinia store via the local storage by using the Pinia plugin persisted states. And you can see it's pretty easy. Now let's move to the third alternative. Alright guys, now for the third alternative, we're gonna use the Vue use library. Vue use is a collection of Vue composition utilities that we use inside a Vue project in order to enhance the development process. Now I'm going to install it. You're gonna tap this command, you're gonna get into your command prompt, and then I'm gonna zoom a little bit. You're gonna tap this command npm install at vueuse/core. This is how we're gonna do in order to install it. And then we're going to get into right here, we're gonna get into the Canada.js. And in here, I'm going to import the useLocalStorage composable. And then I pass here import, and then I pass here useLocalStorage composable. We just imported from the Vue use library. And then we're going to pass here this. Where we got ref, I'm gonna pass here the use local storage, and then I'm pass here the counter, which is the key, and then the initial value, which is 0. And then we're gonna get into the browser again. We're gonna try, and I'm gonna refresh the page, and then you're gonna see right now I'm gonna run my Vue save. I'm gonna pass here npm run dev like this. And then you can see the initial value of the reactive property is 7. I'm pass here clear in order to clear out the local storage to see if the use local storage composable, it's gonna work pretty well. Now I'm gonna refresh the page again. And then you can see the initial value of the count reactive property is 0. Now I'm gonna click increment. Now I'm gonna remove something right here. I'm going to remove the persisted. Yeah, like this. We are going to use the use local storage. Now we're gonna check again. I'm gonna refresh again, and then I'm gonna click increment. Yeah, we got 7, and then I'm gonna refresh the page again, and then you can see that actually just persists the count reactive inside the local storage. Now we are going to do an exercise. We are going to interact with this endpoint right here. And we are going to display an array of ports, and we're going to store it inside the local storage. I'm going to copy the link. We are going to get into within the Canada.js file. And in here, I'm going to do this. I'm going to create right here function. We're going to pass here an asynchronous function, async function, fetch data. I'm pass here fetch post data. And then we're going to use fetch API. I'm pass here cons, and then I'm pass here res, and then we're going to pass here await fetch. We're gonna pass the link, and then I'm pass here cons data, is equal to res.data, and I'm gonna pass here to await. I'm going to create another reactive property. I'm gonna name it const post, and I'm gonna assign it to ref. And right now we're gonna use the useLocalStorage composable in order to persist the post data inside the local storage. I'm pass here post, post, and then here we're going to do this post that value is equal to data. The data is an array like this, and then we're gonna see what we're gonna get. Now we're going to get into within the app.vue file, and in here I'm gonna import the unmounted hook, and then we are going to call this function, and here I'm gonna pass here connector that fetch post data, pass here fetch post data. Now here I'm going to extract the post reactive property, and then like this I'm gonna check. Yeah, we got it right here. I need to pass it to the return statement, and then we're gonna get access to it inside the app.vue file. Now everything right here is correct. We need also to pass the fetch post data function to the return statement. Yeah, like this, and then we are going to check right here. Yeah, everything is correct. Now right here we are going to display an array of posts. We're going to iterate through it, and here I'm gonna create another div here. I'm passing a div, and then we are going to pass here v4, and then we're going to pass here post in post, and then I'm passing here the key is equal to post.id, and here I'm gonna pass here an h1. We're going to display the title, pass here post.title. I'm gonna pass here the option chaining in order to avoid an error. In case we don't got the title inside the array, we are going to display right here and define. And here I'm gonna display the post body. And yeah, we got right here the post body. And here we got the post body and the title. And here I'm gonna display also the body. I'm passing here post.body, and then you're gonna see what we're gonna get right here. Now I'm going to get into the browser, and then we're gonna check again. I'm gonna refresh the page, and then right here we are going to display an array of posts. Yeah, you can see this is the data. I'm gonna pass here even right here. I'm passing here even an h3 in order to reduce the size of the age tag. Now if we refresh the web page, we are going to get this data from the local storage. Even though I remove right here the internet connection, I'm gonna remove it. I'm gonna close the internet connection, and then right here I'm gonna refresh the page, and then you're gonna see we are going to load this data from the local storage. Yeah, it doesn't work. Yeah, invalid array, and here I'm gonna fix an error, and then you're gonna see that actually we got this data inside the local storage. Right now here I'm gonna check first if the data that length is greater than 1 in order to avoid this error, and then we are going to assign it to the reactive property. We're gonna pass it right here, and I'm gonna pass here try catch in order to remove this error. I'm passing here try catch, and right here I'm gonna console the error that message like this. Now I'm gonna click right here. I'm gonna format the document, and then we're gonna go back within the browser, and then we're gonna check again. I'm gonna refresh the page, and then you can see invalid array. Right here we got an invalid array, and in here I'm gonna pass here as the initial value. We're gonna pass here an array like this, and then we are going to fix the error. Now I'm gonna pull back the internet connection again, and then we are going to refresh the web page, and then we are going to disconnect again. I'm gonna connect there, and then we are going to get into the browser again. I'm gonna refresh the web page, and then you're gonna see what we're gonna get right here. You can see we got data. We got data right here, guys. I'm gonna refresh the page, and you can see we got data inside the local storage. Now I'm gonna disconnect again from the internet, and then you're gonna see what we're gonna get. And then I'm gonna refresh the page, and then you can see that actually just load data from the local storage. It works pretty well. And that's pretty much it, guys, for this video. I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.